Yo, what's happening, people? I'm here outside the chip shop across the street over there in Brixton, and we're here. We're going to be catching a few interviews, and the first one is going to be with a guy called Demas, who's here for an event that's put on by Simba Gordon, who was on the 521 Sofa Chat a year or so ago. So anyway, here we go. Demas, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Hello everybody, my name is Deemas J. Started off as an MC a long time ago from the rave scene, One Nation, Dreamscape, places like Labyrinth. Then I started recording reggae. I used to do reggae before that, and then done an album with Wrong Tom, and it all kind of escalated from there and blew up.
For anybody who doesn't know who Ron Tom is, do you want to explain?
Wrong Tom's a producer. He used to work with Hard-Fi. He done an album called Duppy Writer with Roots Maneuver, which done very well. And then the spin-off from that, he worked with me, where we done the album Wrong Tom Meets Deemas J in East London.
And for anyone who doesn't know who Roots Maneuver is, do you want to explain? I'm joking. Come on, everybody
Witness
knows
the fitness.
Yeah, the prophet, the liveth.
Yeah, man.
How long have you been in the music game?
Very long time. Very long time.
Okay, can you put a timeline on it?
A long time.
Okay, so you don't want to put a timeline on it. We bend your arm, twist your arm?
That would, people know. Those who know.
Okay. So when you got into the music game, what was the scene like compared to what it is now?
Well, basically I started off as an MC. So, you know, I'd be going to clubs.
You see this brother?
Yeah, no, come in and say
see
something.
this Donny? I've seen him many times do a madness. Big up yourself, brother. One love, yeah.
Bless you.
Every day.
Thank you.
That's what it's all about.
I started a long time. So the rave scene, you just MC, real vibe. You know, some people done what I call the textile. I just done what I felt and what I wanted to do, and I think that's why I got the bookings and started to do different things. You know, and I've worked with a lot of different people and covered lots of different music.
How does it feel when that happens? You're in the middle of the street talking and someone comes up and says, you see this brother, blah, blah, blah.
I still don't know what to say. And you know what, it's funny because it's happened a few times when I've been with my mum on birthdays and my sister, and we've been in restaurants and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm not famous, man. I'm still kind of broke. What's going on? But it feels, it's nice. It is nice. It is nice. It's nice. It's and my mum smiles, and she's always, you know, she's proud of me. My sister's proud of me. So in that respect, you know, sometimes it's a bit like, you know, but it's always a nice feeling that people appreciate you.
It's humbling, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
Basically, you said the word famous.
Yeah.
Is that what music is about, like getting famous?
No, but this is what I'm saying. Some people think that, and I'm just like, look at, like, you know, people talk to me, and I'm like, I just feel that I'm doing my music. I bring people together. I've been lucky enough to travel, and that's it. But to go, you know, people, it's funny, people go, oh, you're famous, and I'm like, well, I'm not. But to go to different countries and people know you, and to even be walking in different countries, be like, it's like, wow. And I'm just like, you know, this is what you see on telly with people, and it's like, this is happening to me, but I'm not famous. I don't class myself as famous. I class myself as can do music, cross certain, like done the crossover without having to change my name, where everybody kept on saying, you're going to have to change your name if you do this, you're going to have to change your name if you do that. And I just stuck with it. And I've been respected as an MC, respected as a reggae artist, respected as a drum and bass artist, respected as a funk and soul singer. So to do the crossovers, you know, and electro as a person instead of having to change your name, that's you know, for me, and getting the respect of people, it's brilliant. But never going to get used to it. I still don't understand it. But thanks for the love, everybody.
How extensive was the touring? Where did you travel?
God, where have we been? Germany, France, Italy, Canada, Switzerland, Geneva, all over. And through that as well, I was brought over to record. I was out there for 2 weeks to record in Switzerland. I'm in Geneva. So everywhere. I've been blessed in that respect.
So you said Switzerland and Geneva, like they were two different countries.
They are kind of different. They're like,
not really.
Because
when
but when I speak to my Switzerland friend, they're going, "Oh, we're going to Geneva," like it's a different kind of place. So I always try to respect, and I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "No, they're different," and I'm like, "Okay."
I've been to all those places as well, but I've never seen Geneva as separate to Switzerland.
Well, the
know,
people, because they live, maybe it's because they live in the mountains.
Okay.
So that's why. So I always been, I tread carefully when I speak about certain places through my experiences with certain people.
What's your most memorable gig?
For MCing wise, I'll be honest, it was one time, I think I'd just hit a tape pack and I was at Labyrinth. It was a birthday bash, and I came in and I was just chilling in the back because it's quite dark, just watching everybody. And then I went up on stage, and to hear that cheer, that was just unbelievable. That was for MCing side. And then for when I started doing albums and that, Jazz Cafe, and it was a kind of, for me, it was like, it's a hit or miss. And I was with Clifford Jr. from Reggae Roast, and we played there. We done our first live show, and that was amazing. I just seeing once again everyone taking to it, singing the lyrics, and you know, people had been pushing me for a few years. You've got to do a live show. You've got to do a live show, and to see that, I knew that I had something. And we're still building. We're still working on it. It got stopped through lockdown. And now we got Boomtown, so we're going to be doing our first live show at Boomtown, so we're looking forward to that. And yeah, just the progression. It's amazing, the progression from where I've come from and what I'm doing. But the thing is, I think any artist, and I'm going to be completely honest, sometimes we hinder ourselves because we don't believe in ourselves. So to go forward, you have to believe in yourself. And that's where I hindered myself with the live shows, because this went on for a few years. People saying, you've got to do a live show. And I was like, no, it ain't going to work. They won't like it, blah, blah, blah. And I hindered myself. I can't blame anyone else apart from myself. But better late than never. And I think fate intended it.
I like what you said there. And I'd like to delve a little bit deeper into what you actually said there, because that's quite deep. Because if you're not strong mentally, right, you can't deal with those things. So what did you do to get yourself out of that situation to go, right, I need to push a little bit harder? And
well, it was when it came up to do the Jazz Cafe, it was like, it's now or never. If it doesn't work, you know, and my mindset's right, you know, so that's why I'll be honest, I picked Clifford Jr. because even though they have other DJs that play out more, I think in my eyes, he's one of the talented ones, and he's on the ball for a rewind. He's on the ball. He work, you know, there's a chemistry there. So I knew that if it was gonna work, he would be the best person to pick, and it worked. And then from there, we done other shows, and even in the semi-lockdowns, we done a show in Brighton that was sold out. We didn't expect it. We're driving up there in the day. It was like, we're going in the day, and we got there, and that was it. And people were actually turning up who couldn't sit down, which was nice, and they were going, can we pay just to work? And it was like, just stand there and enjoy. And yeah, it was, I can't say no more than that.
Your recordings, I mean, did someone first of all kind of hear you and go, yo, you need to go on vinyl?
Yeah.
So explain how that all started.
So originally I was in Germany, and I met a guy called Ubeda, who's a funk producer. And the first track I ever released was called Night and Day. And then after that I was in, some people heard me from Mannheim, and I recorded a funky track called Clap Your Hands. And then playing out again, some guy at Goldfish and the Doers from Bremen, I recorded Rebel Man. And that's how it happened. Just people come and ask me to voice.
I noticed in the conversation so far, you're mentioning Germany quite often.
Yeah.
Like loads of different towns and cities in Germany and everything. Do you feel like the love that you got in Europe was more than the love in the UK?
At that time, yes. At that time. I'll be honest, at that time, yes.
Okay, so how does that make you feel as a UK artist, not getting that kind of love, but you're getting it somewhere else?
I think because of the scene as well, and it was more the drum bass scene, and I think Germany at that time, I don't know, it's more opportunities. I think people were more open. But I think I don't think I know, unfortunately it shouldn't work like that, but once the doors opened, and then other people wanted to work. So to be, in fairness, it was funny because originally, back in the day, when I was around Woolwich, I used to go to the parties and chat, and I used to he's known, well-known MC Fat Man D.
Oh yeah.
We used to do reggae.
Yeah.
We used to do, and so, but nothing really materialised until the Wrong Tongue meets Deemas J album, and then that's when, obviously, with my back catalogue, people started wanting to work. And then from there, now I've been lucky. I've worked with people such as D. Klein, Adam Prescott, and yeah, other producers, Manu Digital, and yeah, from there I've just been lucky really, and managed to have a say and control in what I release and what I do, in even as in the production and stuff, which is a nice thing.
So in some way, Woolwich was pretty much at the very beginning of your career.
Yeah.
You know, that was my stomping ground.
Okay.
Yeah, we used to go to all the house parties and everything in Woolwich, because I used to beatbox, I used to rap. So
You know Louis, I think.
I know Louis.
Extreme Sound.
Yeah, I know Louis. I know all of them. Like, yeah. We're talking about same Louis. He's probably about 60 now.
Yeah, Black and Louis.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Pat.
yeah, yeah. Of
so
course,
you used to
man.
be with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you.
Yo, Louis, what's going on, bro?
You know me.
Okay.
You know I used to go to the tram shed.
Oh, bro.
You know me. That's now I realise who you are, because you got signed and you with a, is it Kai or someone, another guy?
No, I used to partner with Merlin.
That's it.
Yeah,
Merlin,
yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You was like a mentor.
Okay.
Now you said Louis, because Louis was the one who took me to the tram shed. Louis is the one who got me at the first Woolwich Carnival.
Okay.
That was the first time I performed live to everybody.
Wow.
At Woolwich Carnival.
Right. So now it just
Yeah, it's
suddenly
all coming back.
mad, isn't it?
Coming back.
The
I still
guy
see
all
Louis
comes-
sometimes. I
Okay.
still see Louis sometimes.
No, that's wicked. That's amazing. What's the plan now for the stuff that you're doing in terms of like releasing and stuff? Because obviously everything's changed now. It's not so much about the vinyl, it's more about the streaming. And I personally, my personal opinion is that I think streaming is killing it. Not in a good way either. Like it's cutting off opportunities, but it's creating opportunities depending on if people know how to handle it and whatever. But what happens for those people that aren't so savvy online and everything? You know, I don't know if you're one of those guys. If online is bringing you the workload that you deserve, or do you think it's stifling what you're doing?
I think in some ways not, because I'm lucky, because I work with a lot of people still with vinyl.
Yeah.
But what I do now is a business model, and it shouldn't be like that. If someone calls me and they say, I want to do a tune, I always ask, find out what format. And I'll be honest, I'm saying it, I'll write, sometimes, depending on the label and how strong the label is, I will write different. Because if it's vinyl, it's more of a timeline, longer, as where the digital can just go. And that's how I do it. We're all different, and I'm not saying my way's right, but I'm not saying it's wrong. This is what works for me, and that's what I do. Because sometimes you have a label, and then you know, I've seen it before. We was promised a remix, and all this was promised that, and it was a digital release. And then they were like, oh, it's doing very well. And then the next thing's like, what's happening with this jungle thing? And they haven't done it. They've just carried on with the next project's come in, and it's like, all right, boys.
And how does that make you feel as an artist? Like, you know, you get these promises, the carrots dangle, but then all of a sudden nothing's popped
We
off.
usually have things in writing, and I mean, it's very rare that people go back on their promises or work, because usually it's, you know, but that's just one of them stories, and I've been lucky to kind of, I ask the questions and feed it out, and then I know whether they're real or not. There's some people I've gone, no, it's all right. What? No, I'm fine. You don't want to work with us? No, I'm okay, but I wish you all the best.
Okay.
And that's it. So usually I'm good at feeling that out.
And how would you sum up your career?
Now, I've got a catalogue that is versatile, not my words, other people's words. I never had to change my name. And now I'm, you know, it's taken a while because people say change your name, but it's at that level that someone will go, oh, and it's happened. I'm going to a drum bass rate. Oh, it's about Deemas J. No, he's a reggae. No, it ain't the same. And people realise, and you know, the love and acceptance as a person that is an all-rounder that can do it and deliver. So I've been lucky, and my catalogue, as people say, your catalogue's very interesting. Got different styles and different things going on.
How would you define your music? Because you don't just do one thing. So if anyone wanted to find out, how would you sell yourself?
It's the people so the electro people know me, so they go and check out. It's the drum and bass people know me, the reggae people know me, and then through that, because people know, people go and they realise that, and some people are now, and not now, but people will see me and think, well, wait a minute, because don't forget, people, you know, people are into different music, and it's not everyone that, some people just like a certain music, but other people, so it's through word of mouth, it's through people just going on the internet, it's, you know, that's good like that, and it's just like people go, you know, through interviews like this and that, people go, oh, check, oh my God, he does it, oh my God, he does that. And then the labels, you have a good label, they put it out there, you know, so you do an electro tune, some people will think you're an electro artist, and then they go and check, oh no, actually he's a reggae artist, actually. That's it.
And which part do you enjoy the most?
Performing live, and I love freestyle more.
So that's better than recording, better than everything. It's all about the live.
The live, I love the recording. Sometimes when I come into like the co-production, and it's little things, little things you can hear and go, no, it needs that. It needs some keys. It needs the bass there. And to hear a good producer that they know what's what, and then they're turning going, actually, you're right. It's a nice feeling working together. Okay. And vibes off each other, building it together.
Take yourself back to your earlier days in the music, where you said, like, you were talking about how it all began in Woolwich with Louis and like mentoring and all that kind of stuff, and compare it to now. What's the major difference that you can see between the two?
I'm a lot more wiser, more my own boss. The mistakes that I used to ponder on, I realise I've been very lucky. I can help others, and I have respect for myself as an artist. And I can hold my head high, and some things you'll walk away from. It's like there's certain events that I've walked away from and said, no, it's not. And then they called me a year or 2 years later and realised my worth and had me.
And giving you what you're worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, we've all done that. I think anyone who's got a bit of self-respect for themselves, they do that.
Yeah.
So maybe it's also because we come from similar backgrounds and whatever, so we understand the worth, where some people, if they haven't experienced the certain things we've experienced, maybe they'll just take everything and anything because it's available.
Would you know, maybe, I'm going to be honest with you, who made me aware of that right at the beginning?
Louis.
It was my first trip to Germany, Sam Supplier.
Okay.
And there was basically what happened, they booked these rooms, and I'm like, I'm in Germany, oh, this is brilliant, oh, and I didn't care. And then a phone went, and it's like, you seen these rooms? No, I'm not staying there. So cut a long story short, they called, I think it was a lady called Yuna that was looking after us, I can't remember her name, I think that was her name. And she came and said, no, this is not acceptable. And then Supplier literally schooled a quick sharp shots, and he schooled me and he goes, look, this is not acceptable, this is what you should be getting, this is not being big-headed. So as long as you keep it, you're reasonable, and it's like, and then from there I see some of the demands of other people, which I think is ridiculous, ludicrous. So I've always kept it reasonable, and just to say, so I'm going to give a good show. So I'm comfortable to give a good show, and I've been told my rider is the cheapest rider around.
Bro.
And seriously, and that's not one person, that's not two, and that proves a thing as well.
So what do you have on your rider?
Peppermint tea, some Coca-Cola, maybe a bit of chocolate, some crisps, some chili crisps, peanuts, things like that. That is it.
Right, so your rider was not cheaper than mine.
Huh?
My rider was hot water and lemons.
Okay. I'm ginger and lemon. I'm ginger and lemon as well. But yeah,
Man, we didn't take the piss because we were all about the performance. So we were just like,
when you see it, man, the amount of stuff that people have.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, of course. Come on, man.
And the people take. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. And
Yeah.
the joke that makes me laugh. I've turned up when someone's gone, you're right, I've got you some rum. And I'm like, well, where's my rider? Yeah, but I thought you'd like some. I was like, where's my rider? You've wasted all that money, and they had to go out, and someone's apologised. We did tell them, and they're like, but I thought you'd like rum. I thought you'd like weed. I said, no.
There's a reason why we ask for those things, because as artists, our throat's important,
Yes, exactly.
whatever. So, but I mean, look, there was a time when it was just literally hot water and lemons.
If I'm touring for a few days, it changes because I know I have to look after that throat, and I know that if I don't have them kind of things,
there's some artists that would insure their throats and stuff like that.
There's what?
There's artists that would insure their throats and stuff. How important is that to you?
That's one thing I haven't done, so maybe I should look into that.
It's just because you mentioned throat, so I thought...
I've learned exercises, so I know exercises,
Okay.
and when I've had a bad throat, I can get it, so and I've learned exercises here and to manipulate in certain bits.
Do you want to tell people, or you want to keep that your secret?
I'm not going to start going, but but I've learned some exercises and stuff through which work and have got me out of trouble.
Is there anything that you want to promote while you're here?
There's a tune that I think slipped under the radar that I'm really proud of, which was the Muhammad Ali track I done. It's called Part of the Story, and I'm always trying to push that. I love Muhammad, and yeah, I'd say check that one out. Obviously, the Wrong Tom album is still doing the rounds. Just had a new album out with Jago called We Don't Stop. But if anything, please check out that. And yeah, check out my back catalogue, and there's new stuff coming. I'm working with Louis Room in the Sky. Please check that out, because that fell underground. That was in the lockdown times. So I could be all day. I could be all day.
Where can people find you?
Find my music.
No, literally find where you live. I'm joking, bro. Where can people find you?
No, I don't want you coming to me. I'm off, man. All right, Boomtown this year. Bristol Carnival this year. Reggae thing, I can't even remember. It's in Milton Keynes this year. You can find me at the Magic Garden. You can find me at Planet Wax. You can find me. I'm going to be in Geneva in July.
Is that the country, Geneva?
Don't tell you. But I'm going to be there. All right, I'm just trying to do, what these the mountain folk tell me. I'm trying. I don't know everything. So yeah, all over the place.
Also, where can they find you online so that they can find out about what you're doing in their own time?
Demas J at Spotify and Instagram, spelled DEEMAS and just a J.
Any advice you can give anyone to make them avoid the mistakes you made?
Yeah, I mean, when you're doing basic things, when you're doing a track, get all the splits written down, get some kind of whether it's in an email or something, and make sure you register with PRS, and always check the label out, because sometimes people get excited and say, oh, I'm on a label, and it's someone that's running it from their bedroom who's like, you could put all that work in and you're only going to reach a handful of people. Check out the label, do your homework. When you approach, do your homework. That's all I can say.
All right, so guys, there you have it. Obviously, go and check him out on all the social media platforms and everything that he's given you. And also, I genuinely didn't recognize him, and he didn't recognize me. We're talking, and we find out that our history is pretty much Woolwich and similar people that we've known, although I've not been around that area for 25, 26 years. So, yeah, it's amazing what music brings people together in a certain way, doesn't it? So
definitely.
But yeah, thanks a lot for doing this, bro.
Thank you for having me.
And yeah,
respect.
I appreciate you,
Thank
man.
you.
All
Bigging up each
and
and
good luck
everyone.
good luck with all future work, yeah?
Come and check us at Notting Hill Carnival this year. Solution Sound. Big up. One love.